Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Soil and Agri IQ. And you all know that our lecture series on problematic soils and their management is going on, and in my earlier lecture I have described about the saline soil formation and its effect on soil and plant growth. Now it is very much essential to reclaim that soil. So today I shall describe how to reclaim the saline soil. So let's proceed to the next slide. So what should be considered before reclamation? So what point we need to remember? See, first one is the quality of the irrigation water. What water you are giving to your crop field, so that irrigation water quality you must be assessed before applying irrigation. Like total soluble salt, how much is the total soluble salt present in your irrigation water, that must be assessed. What is the electrical conductivity, what is the total dissolved solid in your irrigation water, what are the percentage of sodium adsorption ratio, what is the sodium adsorption ratio, and how much percentage boron is present. All these things you need to consider. So quality of irrigation water is very much essential before reclaiming your saline soil. Second is the quality and severity of soil. Which type of soil is present in your soil? Either it is saline soil or alkali soil or saline alkali soil. And if it is saline soil, then how much is the degree of salinity? So these things you need to consider. Third one is the nature and distribution of the salt. Which type of salt is present? In my earlier lecture I have described which type of cation is present, which type of anion is present in the root zone or in the soil profile. That must be considered. See the root, mostly what is called the salts are present on the soil surface. Okay, that crusting like salt crust is there, and also in the root zone. And when you are going to the subsoil layer 15-30 centimeter, the concentration of the salt get decreased, and lower subsoil layer there is a very less amount of soluble salt present. Then fourth one is the subsoil water level. So what is this? For reclamation of the saline soil, depth of groundwater table is important. Either it is shallow groundwater table or the deep water table, that is most important. And the quality of the groundwater, not only the irrigation water, because mostly for irrigation we are generally used now groundwater. So groundwater, what is the quality of groundwater, that must be considered before reclamation. Then coming to the drainage condition, which type of drainage condition is prevailing in the site which you need to reclaim. So there is surface drainage, provision of surface drainage or subsurface drainage is there or not, you must be careful about that. So now we coming to the major methods of the reclamation. According to the Kobda et al. In 1973, he given some methods. So there are different methods of the reclamation. First one is the physical methods of reclamation. Then coming to the hydrotechnical method of reclamation. This is one of the most important process methods of reclamation of the saline soil. Then third one is the agronomic. Fourth one is the chemical. Fifth one is the biological measures, and fifth one is if others methods are there, so that we can discuss in subsequent slides. So first one is the physical or mechanical methods of reclamation of saline soil. So what is this? So we need to, there are several points. You see, construction of embankment to prevent the tidal seawater intrusion, because we know what are the sea shore area, low lying areas, seawater can easily go into there, and intrusion of the seawater cause the soil salinization. So if we want to prevent them, so we need to construct some embankment, so the salty or seawater cannot introduce in the low lying areas, so that water will be protected. Okay, so land leveling and contour banding, this is also a very good technique. Establishment of the drainage network, I already told, surface drainage or subsurface drainage. Breaking of the hard pan or subsurface impermeable layer. If there is impermeable layer, salts go down up to a certain depth, then that will again accumulate because it cannot go down. So this is one important. Then scrapping of the salt crust, deep ploughing or subsoiling, sand incorporation, profile inversion. These are the most popular physical method or mechanical method for reclamation of the saline soil. So I will describe in the next slide about this in detail. And use of soil conditioner, either it is natural or artificial like Bhama or Trillium, that you can utilize for improving your soil physical condition. So see, this pictorially I am given to understand it better. say scrapping. If the salt crust is there, so you can scrap it. This is the most effective method to remove the soil, surface soil salinity. Then number 2 is the subsoiling. If there is a hard pan formation, in previous slide I told, if there is any hard pan, so what you will do, you use the chisel plow or deep plow, so it will break the hard pan, so the leaching will be promotes, leaching of the dissolved salts will be there. Then coming to the sanding. So what is this? If you apply, why we apply sand? If we apply huge amount of sand to our soil, it promotes the permeability of the soil. How? Because the sand is the porous material, and porous means they promote the porous structure of the soil, and they improve the macroporosity of the soil. Water can easily penetrate through the macropores and they carry the salts and leaching will be good. So the sanding and profile inversion here means if the surface soil is saline but subsurface soil is good, so what you will do, you just inverse, means bring the subsurface soil to the surface and go down the top salt affected soil buried down to the soil. So bring the good subsurface soil to the upper layer. This is called profile inversion. So these are the 4 most well known, most widely accepted physical methods of reclamation of saline soil. Now we will describe hydrotechnical methods. This is the most important method for reclamation of saline soil. First one is the reclamation of saline soil involves removing of the salts through the process of the leaching. So there are 3 main methods: leaching or flushing of the soluble salts, number 2 provision of the adequate drainage, number 3 irrigation water management. If you follow these 3, your soil will become a good soil from the saline soil. So coming number 1, leaching or flushing of the soluble salt. It is the process of applying sufficient good quality water through the soil profile to dissolve and carry the soluble salt particle below the root zone. Our motto basically from agricultural point of view, to leach down the soluble salt below the root zone, thereby reducing soil salinity. So the amount of leaching depends on something like soil texture and structure. I told if you promote the coarse nature, means coarse soil texture, sandy soil texture, that promote leaching. If there is a good soil structure, aggregated soil structure, that will also promote the porosity of the soil. Pore geometry is very important. If it is micropore or micropore, what a pore connectivity, these are important for the leaching process. Okay, so then clay mineralogy, either it is swelling type of clay or it is not cracking type of clay, that we need to know. Initial soil salinity, what is the initial level of soil salinity, then type on concentration of which type of salts are present, which type of cations are present, anions are present, and how much concentration that present, that all things we need to know. Then quality and quantity of irrigation water, which type of, this is very important point, your irrigation water quality should be good and it should be ample amount or sufficient amount of good quality irrigation water should be there, which leaching method you are followed, water table depth, either it is shallow water table or the deep water table, drainage efficiency, what is better efficiency, which drainage, that you should to know, and soil tolerance crop variety also you need to know. Then I coming to the point, very important point, leaching requirement. What is this? This is the fraction of irrigation water that must pass through the root zone to control the soil salinity in a permissible level. So how much amount of water should pass through the root zone to minimize the soil salinity? So this is the formula. A leaching requirement is the depth of drainage water, DDW, by depth of irrigation water into 100. It is expressed as percentage. Or if you know the EC of the irrigation water or EC of the drainage water, that also help to determine the leaching requirement that I have mentioned here. You can read it. Then coming to the second one is the provision of the adequate drainage, that already I told that this is essential for the salt removal, because leaching produces salt rich drainage water that must be removed through provision of the effective drainage system from the root zone. Okay, second was the surface drainage. Here main and lateral drainage channel facilitate the removal of the excess water and dissolved salt. And subsurface drainage, this is very crucial, and this is very important drainage. Apart from surface drainage, subsurface drainage is very much useful for reclamation of the saline soil, because it helps to lowering down the water table, remove the excess salt and prevent secondary soil salinization. It particularly useful for that place where water table remains shallow for the most of the year and groundwater is mainly poor quality of the groundwater. So this is very important, subsurface drainage. Then coming to the types of soil salinization, because this is so many times we are asking us what is primary salinization and what is secondary salinization, sometimes asked in the interview also. So primary salinization is occur through the natural processes, like it may be the geological processes or hydrological processes. Secondary salinization, this is the human induced process through applying salty irrigation water or some other things. Primary salinization, salt originate from parent material, weathering or saline groundwater. Here often it is caused by saline irrigation water and poor quality drainage. Number 3, primary salinization commonly found in arid and semi-arid climatic condition, whereas secondary salinization found in irrigated agricultural condition. Primary salinization develops naturally over time, and it develops even when the water table rises, salt accumulate near the soil surface and also in the root zone due to the process of evaporation. Then coming to the irrigation water management, how is it possible? See, use good quality irrigation water, already I told. Then blending with water, good quality water may be mixed proportionately with the saline water. Okay. Then proper irrigation scheduling, avoid excessive drying. So you periodically or intermittently irrigate your soil so that it should not excessively dry, and maintain adequate soil moisture through the providing irrigation. Then improved irrigation method you followed, apart rather than this flood irrigation method, you can follow alternate furrow irrigation method, drip irrigation method, sprinkler irrigation method, pitcher irrigation method. So all these things are very useful for reclamation of the saline soil. Now coming to the agronomic management. Okay, so first one is the planting or sowing in furrows. Why in furrow? Because water through the capillary, salty water along with salts, it rises to the top portion, ridge. In ridge, or easily can move through the capillary action, salt can go to the upper portion of the or the ridge portion, it can go, but they cannot accumulate in the lower portion. So in furrow, if you plant your or sow your seeds in furrow, so it will protect this area, protect the seed from salinization or the maximum salt concentration zone. Use of suitable fertilizer. If you use acid forming fertilizer, it may help to reduce the pH of the saline soil. And addition of organic manure, if you add farmyard manure, green leaf manure, it will improve soil structure. Sometimes organic acid will also produce, that will reduce the soil pH and it enhance the soil biological activity. They also help to reclaim the soil. Then coming to agronomic management, here reduction means it's continuing. Reduction of the surface evaporation. If you use mulch, either it is crop residue mulch or plastic mulch, that will reduce the evaporation, because mainly the salty groundwater comes due to high evaporative demand. So water coming through the capillary action. So if there is a mulch, that will conserve the soil moisture and it prevents the rapid evaporation. Okay. So proper ploughing and land leveling, it is also helps to improve infiltration and percolation of the water distribution and the leaching process. Then coming to the cultivation of the salt tolerant crop. This is very important for ICR level exam or any exam, which is a highly salt tolerant crop. See, this is very important. Barley, then sugar beet, these are highly salt tolerant crop. Please remember the example. Then cotton, then sorghum, then paragrass. These all are the highly salt tolerant. Moderate, wheat, rice, maize, soybean, groundnut. Low salt tolerant, bean, radish, white clover. And sensitive crop, tomato. Even in BAU entrance, this type of question came. Tomato, potato, onion, carrot. These are very much sensitive to the salt. So please remember, this is very much important for any exam purpose. Then coming to the chemical methods, generally for reclamation of the saline soil, that chemical method is not required, because here only requirement is to leach down the soluble salt, not to remove the exchangeable sodium from the soil extent side. It is not required. Just leach down the soluble salt using good quality of the irrigation water. Sometimes calcium, regarding calcium containing amendment is required if there is a chance of formation of soil sodicity in near future. In that case you can use, but it is generally not followed. Chemical method is generally not followed for reclamation of the saline soil. Then last one is the biological method, that is bio drainage plant, which are the deep rooted plant, which high water use plants, they can utilize the water and they lower down the water table, because if it is high water table or shallow water table, it causes the soil salinization. So they utilize the water for their growth and they lowering down the water table. Water cannot reach easily to the soil surface. So their importance is very much bio drainage plant, and it is mostly useful for water table management. And last one is the utilization of the halophyte. If you use the halophyte plants like Spartinia, alterniflora, that can help to mitigate your saline soil condition. And also through the genetic improvement, selection of the salt tolerant crops can help to mitigate the problem of soil salinity. So other methods we have came in the last of our lecture. So seed priming and osmopriming, it's directly not related with the removal of the salt from your soil, but if you treated your seeds before sowing, that may help for better germination of the seed under soil saline condition. You can follow hydropriming, you can follow osmopriming treatment for your seeds before sowing to escape your seeds from soil salinity and promote better germination of the seeds. And rainwater harvesting, you can, and conjunctive water use, you can use rainwater, you can conserve rainwater, you can use canal water, groundwater in appropriate combination to remove the problem of the salt and maintain the salt balance. And it is particularly useful where good quality water is limited. So you can utilize other sources, canal irrigation water, groundwater, rainfall. So you can use that through rainfall, that is rainwater harvesting. You can utilize the good quality rainwater better for management of the saline soil. Okay, so thank you for listening my lecture. I hope you get some good information for your exam or for your knowledge. If you find it useful, please like this video, subscribe my channel and share with your friends. See you soon in the next video. Thank you.